Part of your DNA isn't human, not metaphorically, but literally. Roughly 8% of the genetic code inside every cell in your body came from viruses that infected your ancestors millions of years ago. Most of it is dormant, fossilized fragments of infections nobody survived to remember. But one small piece of that viral DNA isn't dormant at all. It's active right now in every pregnant person on Earth. And without it, you and every other mammal with a placenta would never have been born. Here's how it happened. Certain viruses, called retroviruses, have a strange trick. When they infect a cell, they don't just hijack it to make copies of themselves, they insert their own genetic material directly into the host's DNA. Usually that's catastrophic for the individual cell, but every so often, throughout evolutionary history, this happened inside a reproductive cell, a sperm or an egg. When that happened, the viral DNA didn't just infect one individual, it became permanent. It got copied into every single cell of every descendant that followed, passed down exactly like any other inherited gene. Scientists call these fossilized viral sequences human endogenous retroviruses, HER-Vs for short. And they're not rare. They make up approximately 8% of the entire human genome. To put that in perspective, the genes that actually code for the proteins that build and run your body make up less than 2% of your DNA. There is more ancient virus in you than there is conventional human genetic code. Most of these HER-Vs are broken. Millions of years of mutation have degraded them into what researchers used to call genomic dark matter. For decades, that's exactly how scientists treated them. Leftover junk from infections that ended hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions, of years ago. Then researchers started looking closer. And it turned out some of these viral fragments were still switched on. Some of them, it turns out, never stopped working. They just stopped being viruses and started being essential. Every mammal that gives birth to live young instead of laying eggs relies on one specific structure to survive pregnancy, the placenta. Inside it is a layer of cells called the syncytin, and its entire job is one of the strangest cellular feats in biology. Individual cells fuse together, merging their membranes into one continuous sheet. That fused layer is what allows a fetus and a mother to exchange oxygen, nutrients, and antibodies without their separate immune systems attacking each other. For decades, nobody understood the mechanism that made those cells fuse in the first place. The answer turned out to be a virus. Buried in the human genome is a gene called syncytin. It isn't originally a human gene at all. It's a retroviral envelope gene, the exact type of gene a retrovirus normally uses to fuse itself onto a new cell and infect it. At some point, tens of millions of years ago, an ancestral retrovirus inserted that fusion gene into the genome of an early mammal. Instead of being destroyed or staying dormant, that gene got repurposed, co-opted. What used to help a virus invade a cell now helps placental cells merge into the layer that keeps a fetus alive. Researchers confirmed exactly how essential this is by studying mice bred without a working copy of the syncytin gene. The result wasn't a mild complication. Their placentas failed to form the fused cell layer properly, maternal-fetal exchange broke down, and the embryos did not survive. Here's where it gets even stranger. Syncytin isn't just one gene inherited from one distant ancestor. Scientists have found that completely different groups of mammals, primates, rodents, rabbits, and separately, carnivores like cats and dogs, each independently captured their own version of a retroviral envelope gene and evolved their own version of syncytin. Different viruses, different infections, separated by tens of millions of years, all converging on the exact same biological solution. The oldest of these captured genes identified so far, found in the carnivora lineage, has been conserved for an estimated 70 million years. Evolution didn't design the placenta from scratch. It stole the blueprint from a virus, more than once, in more than one species, using more than one unrelated infection. Syncytin isn't the only herb that's still doing something. Researchers studying one particular group of these ancient viral sequences, known as HML2, examined genetic material from over 14,000 donated human tissue samples. HML2 is the most recently active family of Herpes, having gone extinct as an infectious virus less than 5 million years ago. They found dozens of individual Herpes sequences still capable of activity. Every single tissue sample they analyzed showed evidence that at least one of these ancient viral fragments was doing something. Some were still capable of producing actual viral proteins inside healthy human tissue right now. Scientists are still working out what most of that activity means. Some of it appears connected to disease. Herpes activity has been linked to certain cancers and to conditions including multiple sclerosis and ALS. Some of it may be protective. There's evidence that leftover viral genes can help the immune system recognize and fight off related viruses that show up later. In 2016, researchers screening thousands of human genomes found something else. 19 previously undiscovered pieces of viral DNA tucked between ordinary genes, DNA that had gone completely unnoticed until that point. One stretch, found in roughly 50 of the 2,500 people studied, contained what looked like the complete genetic blueprint for an entire intact virus. Whether it's still capable of assembling into an actual functioning virus is something scientists are still investigating. Your genome isn't a fixed, finished blueprint. It's a layered archive of every infection your ancestors survived. And some of those old invaders are still, quietly, doing the work of keeping you alive. For most of the 20th century, biologists assumed the viral fragments in our DNA were nothing more than fossils, the genetic equivalent of scar tissue. Junk left behind by infections our ancestors happened to survive. It took decades of research to realize that at least one of those fossils never actually stopped working. It just changed jobs. Every person who has ever been born to a placental mammal, every human being who has ever existed, owes that fact, at least in part, to a virus that infected one of our ancestors somewhere between 30 and 100 million years ago. You're not just descended from earlier humans, you're built in part out of the enemies they survived.